Okay, thanks. We are back.
We
Um,
are.
we're back again. So, hi Matt, how you doing?
I'm good. Good, Mark. Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks. Yeah, so we're trying to figure out the best format for these, and we're going to try and keep this one a little shorter, best we can. So I'll edit it as best I can, and we'll try and keep to the point because we want to get the key points across, but without too much waffle, which is never easy for me.
It's not easy at all.
No. Yeah. So anyway, the subject that we wanted to talk about today, which is a really interesting one and something that will be with you for a while, if when you decide to quit drinking, is what on earth do you drink when you don't drink? And I think specifically, we were interested in having a conversation about whether or not it's safe to drink these non-alcoholic alternatives. So things like, non-alcoholic beer, you can get non-alcoholic wine these days, and even non-alcoholic gin, which
Yep.
seems completely pointless. But anyway, and I've got really mixed views on it. I was thinking about it, obviously, in preparation for this pod, and it's one of those subjects where you think, to some extent, I'm not quite sure completely how I feel about it. And I think where I get to is it's seasonal. I think it really depends on the individual. It depends on you. I think it depends very much on how you honestly feel about it. I think also it probably depends, fairly heavily on your experience as a drinker. How bad for you really was it? How high up on the scale do you consider you were? And what was your reason for quitting? And just a few notes to kind of back that up. I mean, just from my own experience as a point of reference for anybody watching this, I think it was 5 years in for me before I tried my first non-alcoholic beer. So I hadn't had any non-alcoholic alternatives for 5 years, and the reason for that was that, quite frankly, I was just kind of scared of it. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to be in that area. I didn't want to sort of be in that metaphoric room, if you like. So I left it quite a while, and when I first had a non-alcoholic beer, my brain did that thing where if you've ever stood on an escalator that has stopped moving, that isn't actually moving, and when you step on it, your brain kind of tries to convince you that it is moving, and you sort of stop and you don't quite know what to do. That was very much my experience of my first non-alcoholic beer. It was just a complete, mind fuck, really. It was like, this is beer, and I think my brain was going, "Oh, right, okay, get ready to get lit, get drunk, get fucked up," as always
Yeah.
reminded of the Wolf of Wall Street scene when he discusses non-alcoholic beer. If you haven't seen it, Google it. It's hilarious. And I understand that, actually, having done a bit of research on this, it's the fact that the taste of the beer does trigger dopamine in the brain. So when you take this, when you have a drink of non-alcoholic alternative, particularly beer, I imagine, I suppose it could be the same for wine as well, is that it triggers dopamine, and dopamine is linked to addictive behavioral. It's a habit forming thing, and so I suppose on that basis you do have to tread carefully, and also be aware, if you're not already, that when they say non-alcoholic beer, that doesn't mean it's alcohol free. Non-alcoholic can mean up to 0.5% alcohol content. And just to put that in context, if you drank 10 of those, I appreciate you probably wouldn't drink 10, but that would be like drinking one normal beer. So non-alcoholic doesn't mean no alcohol. Alcohol free means zero alcohol. So if you really want to be certain that you're not touching alcohol at all, alcohol free is the one. And final point for me is that, we'll sort of circle back around. So whilst we want to try and keep this succinct, I don't want to rush it. But the other point is that if you've got any kind of liver disease as a result of drinking alcohol, then even the non-alcoholic beers are to be avoided. So yeah, another very cheerful introduction, but I'll stop there and get your thoughts and input, Matt. What are your sort of thoughts on this one?
Yeah. So my thoughts are, I think the first thing is, it's a strange one. People have two trains of thoughts on this. I have no real problem with alcohol free or non-alcoholic drinks. I occasionally drink them. I occasionally have a non-alcoholic beer. And when I went away on holiday, someone had bought me a bottle of gin, but non-alcoholic gin. And we saw them every night, and everyone was having a glass of wine, and they would make me this gin and tonic, which was non-alcoholic. But to me, personally, I kind of can just take it or leave it. Really, I don't really see the point, particularly in the sort of gin and tonic. It's actually, I kind of don't really think that there's that much enjoyment in it, even though I used to drink a gin and tonic from time to time when I was drinking alcohol. Um, so I think, another thing as well is I think it kind of feels like sort of cheating sometimes. I kind of feel it goes against the everything I sort of stand for in a way, because I kind of feel that sometimes I'm stood there with a non-alcoholic beer and it's almost to try and fit in. And then I sit there and think, well, why do I need to do that? Why do I need to try and fit in? So I don't know. Like I say, I think it's great that they exist. I think it's an excellent alternative. I think if they work for you, have them. I think be cautious at the beginning. If you've recently stopped, I would just wait until you're fully happy with the fact that you're not going back. But you know what? On a hot day, when someone's doing a barbecue, if you want to have a nice cold beer with no alcohol in it, then you know what? Go for it. And I have done that on occasions. I think what's funny is that when you don't drink alcohol, you drink in the way that a human needs to consume liquid, which is when you're thirsty, and you don't have a sudden desire to drink a 12 pack of non-alcoholic beers. But what's funny is a lot of your friends who do drink will assume that you do, so they often buy many way over the top amounts of non-alcoholic beer, and probably have quite a lot left over in their fridge after a party.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I think my advice would be when you first stop drinking, if you are out socializing, you have to be honest with yourself and accept the fact that this is new, that you're new into your new life without alcohol, probably something you've done for a number of years and got very, very used to doing, and probably something that everybody around you is used to you doing as well. And I think on that basis, just go prepared, go armed, go knowing that you're
yeah.
not going to be drinking, that
Uh,
you may feel more comfortable. I mean, I used to drink soda with a slice of lime in it, because holding a glass with soda and lime, nobody's going to know that it's not alcoholic. And what I've found, just to reassure you, is that when you do go out what people call a drinks do, and I think still when you stop drinking and you stand back from the world of alcohol and you think about the fact that people get together for drinks. People say, let's get together for drinks. Let's go out for the essentially the sole purpose of consuming alcohol. It's a weird thing, but when you find yourself in that situation, what you'll notice is that you, first of all, you can still have a really good time until
yeah,
everybody gets drunk, and then it just gets tedious. But the other thing is that people don't even know that you're not drinking. Yeah, that's the other. Sorry, that's one other point I wanted to make as well. Is what is kind of cool is you do get to call time when you want to
you
go.
do.
You go. Don't feel bad for one moment. If you're relatively new, or even if you're fairly established non-drinker, fact of the matter is that going out for a drinks do is not going to hold the same appeal as it used to. It just
Yeah,
isn't, because people are going to get drunk and they're going to get boring, and you're going to want to get home. And the great thing is, I think it's one of the most uplifting and liberating and fantastic feelings when you get into your car and you start pulling away, and you know full fucking well that you're going to wake up the next day feeling great, not just physically and mentally, but you're going to feel great about yourself because you didn't drink. So just last thing on this for me is, just in summary, nothing against the non-alcoholic alternatives. I think they're great. And like you, Matt, I have them. If I get for a meal, I'll often have a non-alcoholic, alcohol-free beer. do think I would advise you to be a little bit careful if you're in
Yep.
the early stages. I think maybe try and put a bit of time between your last alcoholic drink and your first non-alcoholic alternative. That would be my advice. In the meantime, drink, club soda, ginger ale, or whatever it happens to be, and just be prepared and get out in front of it, and just lean into the fact that you are now somebody that doesn't drink, and lean into that truth, and don't shy away from it. And but yeah, ultimately it's fine and it all works out and you end up having a great time. Everything, you still have the same laughs, but you don't have the shit that goes with it.
Yeah. So for me, just to finish, I think that's great. I think I just want to jump on what you said earlier, which is it allows you to control your own time. So go out. It's not the same. You won't want to be standing in a bar for 4 hours with people who are drinking. The appeal just isn't there. But you can have a good time, but you control your own time. You can leave when you want. And that's something I've learned, and it's something I relish. I really do, is that complete control over my own time. If I want to go, I will go. And so yeah, do give yourself time before cracking into the trying of alcohol free or non-alcoholic drinks. And just remember, you now control, you're in control, and enjoy that.
Yeah, I think there's no better feeling. I think it's a great feeling. I think it's one of the really amazing things about not drinking is that you end up, like you say, fully in control. You get to be your own person. You get to make your own rules, and you don't get dragged into doing things that. How many times have we done this over the years when we said, "Oh, I didn't really want to drink, but they were insistent. They kept topping up my glass, and I ended up, doing, getting 3 sheets to the wind without wanting to." So, okay, look, just finally then. We'll keep trying this different versions of sort of delivering this content. If you've got any questions, just let us know. We'll get
Yeah,
back to
tell us what you
you.
think.
Yeah, tell us what you think. If you like it, please like, subscribe, do all the usual things you do on YouTube when you like a video. And yeah, anybody got any ideas or thoughts on topics, let us know. And yeah, until the next time.
Take care. Bye bye.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.